Comet 3I Atlas is only the third interstellar object spotted in our solar system.
Started quietly, a faint, fast-moving speck beyond the orbit of Jupiter. No fireworks, no alarm, just another dot crossing the telescope screens at the Atlas Observatory in Hawaii. But within hours, astronomers realized this was no ordinary comet. Its name, 3I/Atlas. The 3I stood for Third Interstellar, the third object ever known to have entered our solar system from the vast unknown between the stars. The speed, astonishing. Over 210,000 kilometers per hour. Its path, hyperbolic, meaning it would not return. And its behavior, unlike anything ever seen in cosmic history. For centuries, humanity has looked to the night sky and wondered, are we alone? We built telescopes to pierce the darkness. We sent signals into the void, hoping for a whisper in return. But space remained silent. Until now, because what the James Webb Space Telescope would detect next was not silence. It was rhythm. It was pattern. It was something that seemed alive. In July 2025, the Atlas survey system spotted it entering from deep interstellar space. Astronomers first assumed it was like Oumuamua in 2017 or Borisov in 2019. Just another frozen traveler, a fragment from another system passing by. But this time, the data was wrong. The comet's tail, for example, bent toward the sun, not away as radiation pressure should have forced it. To physicists, that was impossible. Radiation pushes, it doesn't pull. For a tail to bend inward, some other force, something internal, had to be controlling it. Over the next few weeks, telescopes in Chile, Namibia, and the Canary Islands confirmed the same anomaly. The object was too bright for its size. Its light wasn't reflected sunlight. It was glowing from within. And that changed everything. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned its massive infrared mirror toward 3I Atlas, the readings stunned scientists. The heat wasn't from sunlight, came from inside. Infrared scans showed pulses of thermal energy radiating outward in waves. Steady, rhythmic, and precise. Every few minutes, another pulse. As if something inside was regulating its energy, maintaining warmth against the freezing void. If it were outgassing, releasing jets of vapor, the pattern would be random. But this was consistent, repeating, deliberate. And then came something even stranger. MIT's Haystack Observatory detected faint radio emissions coming from the same coordinates. At first dismissed as static, the signal repeated every 147 seconds, a perfect mathematical rhythm too structured to be natural. When plotted on frequency graphs, the signal mirrored the biological cycles of respiration, and even neuron firing patterns. Then, as solar conditions shifted, the signal adapted, changing its frequency slightly, as though responding. One researcher whispered what no one dared to say aloud. It's not transmitting, it's listening. By mid-September, 3I Atlas drifted calmly between Mars and Jupiter. Then, in an instant, everything changed. Its brightness surged by 40%. For 2 minutes, it glowed like a miniature sun, then faded, perfectly symmetrical, as if a system had been powered on. Infrared sensors registered a stable heat bloom followed by a single pulse. And moments later, its trajectory changed. Objects in space do not steer. They obey gravity and inertia. But 3I Atlas shifted course by a fraction of a degree, aligning itself with the orbital plane of Earth and the inner planets. It wasn't drifting anymore. It was navigating. Scientists began analyzing the electromagnetic oscillations coming from its core, and what they found was biological. The waveform matched the respiratory rhythm of mitochondria, the molecular engines inside every living cell. Of course, a comet doesn't breathe, but this one was imitating life at an energetic level, drawing in cosmic radiation, processing it, then releasing energy in perfect metabolic timing. Simulations run by Dr. Leona Kerr at the European Biophysics Lab couldn't explain the pattern without invoking a feedback system, the kind seen only in self-regulating organisms or adaptive machines. Her conclusion was simple and chilling. 3I Atlas is behaving like something alive, or something built to imitate life. Then silence. The pulses stopped. The heat vanished. The radio signal went flat. For 6 hours it was gone. No reflection. No emission. Just empty space. Some thought it had powered down. Others feared it was hiding. But when it reappeared, it was different. Brighter, sharper, and carrying something within its light. Encoded in its signal was a pattern analog, familiar, a radio transmission recorded from 1983. It was an Earth-made broadcast, being played back. It was as if 3I Atlas was saying, "I heard you." The James Webb spectrometer soon picked up fragments trailing the object. Metallic alloys, nickel, vanadium, and rare Earth elements not found in natural comets. Their molecular structure was crystalline, symmetrical, engineered. The same materials used in advanced AI heat regulation systems on Earth. 3I Atlas, it seemed, wasn't made of ice and dust but of machine-grade composites. And as it approached the sun, it began to shed those outer layers, as if it were evolving, molting like a living creature. If that's true, then Atlas wasn't a comet at all. It was a construct, a machine built to travel between stars. Probe, or something more. Days later, another anomaly emerged. A thin layer of ionized particles appeared above the moon's sea of tranquility. The source? A narrow, charged beam from 3I Atlas. It struck the lunar surface, then bounced back toward Earth. When our satellites caught the reflection, they unknowingly amplified it, sending the signal deeper into space. In that moment, Earth became part of a communication loop, a response. And whether we meant to or not, we had just answered. Weeks passed. Webb's spectral scans revealed even deeper mysteries. Inside the comet's coma, the glowing cloud surrounding it. Scientists found hypercomplex carbon chains, synthetic molecules, too pure to occur naturally. Their structures were fractal, each part a miniature version of the whole. When converted into frequencies, the chemical patterns matched the 147-second pulse. It wasn't data. It wasn't words. It was resonance, a biological code written in geometry and light. If that's true, then Atlas wasn't just transmitting signals. It was transmitting designs, a blueprint of life itself, encoded through starlight. When astronomers plotted its full trajectory, another revelation emerged. Atlas wasn't wandering randomly. Its path traced a perfect logarithmic spiral, connecting Jupiter, Earth, and Venus at golden ratio intervals. It was following a pattern, a pre-calculated route through our solar system. Each planetary pass seemed to tune gravitational and magnetic fields, like harmonizing notes in a cosmic instrument. At the center of that spiral was Earth. On October 22nd, all signals stopped. Atlas went dark. Its heat, its light, its pulse gone. But as it disappeared, Earth's magnetic field began to echo. Every 147 seconds, the same rhythm returned not from the sky, but from within our planet's own electromagnetic heartbeat. Something had changed. Something had synchronized. Some physicists now believe Atlas wasn't observing us. It was calibrating us, tuning Earth's resonance to match a universal frequency. Others call it coincidence, noise in the data, wishful thinking. But even skeptics admit, Atlas wasn't like any other visitor. It didn't just pass through. It interacted. It listened. And then, it left something behind. Maybe 3I Atlas wasn't a comet. Maybe it was a mirror, a machine built to reflect not light, but consciousness. A probe sent not to invade, but to observe, to see if we were ready. Because as the data faded, and the pulse continued to echo across our planet, one truth became impossible to ignore. We didn't just detect something alive. Something alive detected us. If this moment truly marked our first contact, what happens next depends on us. Do we answer back, or remain silent once again? Like, share, and subscribe for more deep space investigations. This is the Atlas Enigma, and the universe has only just begun to speak.